Hello, my name is Mylixia. I am the life and success coach for Team Dignitas. Currently, we are number one in the North American LCS, and I get a question several times a week that is what makes a competitive esports team? Why do some teams excel and some teams don't? And in particular, why are some teams from other regions so much better, apparently, than other teams are? And I wanted to address those issues in this video and also discuss what makes a great team. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of professional teams in esports and currently to work with one of the teams, in my opinion, that has the best structure for being able to win currently in the North American scene. So the first thing that I want to discuss is structure. Structure is how the team is actually set up, and I think that before you do anything, you have to get this right. So the very first thing you need from top to bottom is a good management team. Management should find sponsors, they should negotiate contracts, and they should resolve disputes at the highest level. And that's all they should do. Oftentimes, management tries to get involved with player politics, and a good management team stays away from that and lets the coach and the support staff do the majority of that while they handle the business side of things. The next tier of that is coach. So every single team needs a coach. I look at the NA scene, and if I see a team without a coach, it's unbelievable to me. You can see a lot of parallels to professional sports and how they have one coach or many coaches that lead the team. Coaches lead the day-by-day plays. They encourage and keep players together. They analyze in-game mistakes, and most importantly, I think they give players a rubric to improve off of. A player will have a list of things they can do every single week or every single game that will make them better. And it takes the outside opinion of a coach to be able to present that to a player and have them follow it. Following the coaching role is their support staff. And the support staff in Korea in particular is usually very large. North American teams and European teams as of yet have smaller support staffs, but I think we will see that increase as the scene grows. The most important part of a support staff most likely is a good analyst, both macro and micro, thinking about the game in terms of overall strategy and the way that the game should be played, and microscopically the numbers and the champion win percentages, the statistics via the LCS that should all be fed to the coach. And secondary support staff can be life coaches, sports psychologists. You see this a lot in professional sports, although I haven't seen any of the life coaching roles really catch on that much. I think that only 2 teams in North America currently possess a life coach, though I do think they're very important, of course, because that's my role. I think that someone needs to be available for the players to talk to. Someone needs to be available for the players to trust and to be able to approach on a completely non-biased spectrum and talk about their issues where they know they're not going to get in trouble for it or that someone else is going to hate them for it. Importantly, someone needs to be able to bring issues to the team anonymously. Depending on where they heard it, doesn't matter. They are able to bring the team any concerns and messages that are revolving around the dynamic of the team. And then you have, I believe, health coaches, chefs. Again, something that you see quite a bit in Korea, but we haven't really picked up at all in the States yet. But very important. I think a player's physical health and mental health is just as important as any other concept or how good they are at the game. And then finally, you have the players. The players are probably the most misunderstood role. And I think that the only role of the players should be to focus on the game. That's it. They should practice. They should focus on the game they're playing. And they should focus on getting better at it, and they should have an absolute, total desire to win. If the players do not have that desire to win, they should not be on that team. And in successful regions, very successful regions, you see that management and coaches are not afraid to remove players on an instant if they don't think that they possess that desire. Oftentimes, if you have players involved in the politics of the team, and you have players involved worse in management decisions, you're doing something wrong. Those things should usually be separate. They should always be separate. And the player should focus on the game and getting better. What do great teams possess? Something that I have been trying to look for. I've been trying to make a list of things that incredible teams possess. And I've come up with 3 really important variables. These are probably not everything that a really good team possesses, but they're a very, very good start. So the very first and most important thing that I think a great team possesses is an incremental view of ability. So what do I mean by that? If we think that we fail at something, we give up on it or feel less encouraged, or we don't want to do it as much. Very good players and very good teams understand that success is a matter of incremental ability. Being very good at a game is a matter of small steps that you take to get there and small failures that accumulate into a very good set of players. Most importantly, this is something that is understood by every level of the team. Management, coach, support staff, and players all need to understand that success is incremental. You're only as good at something as you've worked hard to earn that thing. And that's the first thing that teams need to realize and constantly know to be able to improve. If you look at all of the top teams and all of the top players, at the forefront of their philosophy is that idea that incremental ability is imperative to success. The second thing they need is a good support staff, including a coach that takes into account the synergy of the team and improves weaknesses in that synergy. The support staff needs to understand that the players only have a certain view of the game. They only have their own role and at most a kind of rough idea of what the team is doing. And the support staff, including analysts and coaches, need to get together and say, this is what you need to work on, this is your rubric for success, and this is what you have to do to make that happen. Then it's up to the player to execute that, but the player should only worry about execution. Players should not ideally be making those rubrics themselves because they should have more time to focus on the game. And then a support staff that understands the mental and physical health of the players. This is one I want to put in. It's obviously personal to me, but I think that all players need an avenue for them to talk. They need to feel very comfortable, and they need to have ways to become stronger. If they don't have those ways, then they might feel closed in. And I've seen a couple team environments where the players didn't feel like they could talk to anybody, either other players or they didn't have support staff that they felt like they could talk to. And that caused a lot of problems and eventually manifested in the poor plays of that team, because all of this is going to culminate on the field. And we think about the games that happen in the LCS and happen in competitive esports, but we don't generally think about what happens behind the scenes. Players, the more that they get involved in the things that support staff and coaching should handle, the more that they are unable to focus on the game. And in North America, you have a lot of issues with that. You have a lot of players that are focusing on other aspects other than playing. And I think that that can not be conducive to playing at the highest level that they should be playing at. Particularly, I get a lot of comments that, Korea seems like a scene that is so much more integrated and so much more knowledgeable and so much more capable than North America is, and Europe for that matter. I don't think that's something that has to be set in stone. I think that Korea has a very good infrastructure, that the players practice very intensively, and they often practice with each other. Teams are very fleshed out with very good support staff, and the players in those regions hold themselves to very high standards. They know that they can be replaced very easily. Popularity means a little bit less there versus a lot of the prominence you have on Twitch TV with very popular streamers who also have those followings. So that consideration has to go through with management because there's a lot of money coming in from those streams and because those players are devoting a lot of time to those broadcasts instead of possibly getting better at the game. So Korea has a set of rubrics they have in place for the success of their players. But I think that will manifest itself over time. We're already seeing that happen with Cloud9 and Dignitas, who have set up these pretty great support structures. But I'd like to see it start happening with other teams. I'd like to see those teams start to excel as well. And I would like to see the whole North America scene increase as a total in order to get some really exceptional players on the scene. And to do that, I think there needs to be a lot of things that happen, including a lot of incentivizations from Riot Games and other esports, other competitive esports companies. But that's kind of for another video. What I wanted to cover here was just how to structure a really good team. And I do think that success coaching, life coaching, and regular coaching is necessary in making a player a complete player, because the potential of a player is, at least as far as I'm concerned, the same. What holds a person back is their belief structure. If they believe that they can only reach a certain level, then that's the level they reach. And I've seen players become exceptional who other people didn't think had the potential to do that. and then they turn around and they prove that they did because they changed their belief systems and their mindset. So the talent is there. The talent is in North America, but we need to give the talent the opportunity to structure a team around and to thrive. I don't know, some thoughts. I hope that's helpful if anyone's trying to create a 5v5 team or if you're just interested in the scene. And yeah, I'll be making more videos like this. If you like it, toss a subscription to the channel. I make a lot of guide videos, and going to start doing more commentary on esports and also on gaming in general. That's it from me. Thanks.